if you think you've had a tough day, just wait until you meet our next guest.
John Cantor seems like a nice bloke. Queensland born to lovely parents, the fit, energetic guy could have done anything his heart desired. And desiring to cross the Arctic mountains is what his heart wanted to do. The Brooks Range across North America is one of the toughest solo expeditions on Earth. It took him 6 years and 3 failed attempts, but last year he made it. Completing the 1,600-kilometre trip in 31 days. The first Aussie, the 5th person and the fastest time. And he's going back for more. This all-round adventure nut and occasional Bear Grylls stunt double is attempting the Arctic trip again, only this time in winter, with temperatures dropping to minus 60 degrees. And with a mate. Keep warm and happy spooning, lads.
Please welcome John Cantor. So no one has attempted this before in winter, for good reason. What are the conditions going to be like out there?
At the start of the trip, there'll be no sunlight, so we'll be travelling in darkness for most of it. The temperatures...
So how many days no sunlight?
Only a few days, none at all. But we'll be skiing for 10 to 12 hours a day, and at the start there'll only be 5 hours of visible light, you know, just twilight.
Yeah.
And there were 6 days last winter where it was between minus 48 and minus 59.
Maybe you should keep your shirt on.
So it's never that cold.
So you're right in about it. Like, this is insanely cold, one of the coldest expeditions anyone would ever attempt. How do you prepare yourself for that?
We've got great clothing from our sponsor Berghaus, but I'm also doing half an hour ice baths a day. All your body's defence systems are geared towards an overreaction, so when you're first exposed to extreme cold, all your capillaries are shut off, send the blood to your organs. But after prolonged exposure, your body learns you're not dying, so it relaxes that process.
Where are you doing the ice bath?
In subtropical Noosa, half an hour. But you've got to get yourself, you know, approaching hypothermia. And my
Are you in a zen state when you get in the bath?
I've got my playlist of like Sting and Kate Bush and M83. But my neighbours must be so grossed out. For half an hour every day, there's... And then, like, yesterday I stepped it up, and for an hour I was on the deck in the sun, like, convulsing, even after the bath, because my core temperature dropped so much.
We don't feel sorry for you. Only you are the one choosing to do this. No one's making you do this.
Yeah, sort of.
So you prepare yourself for the cold. How do you prepare yourself for the grizzly bears? I'm assuming you don't have one of them in Noosa.
No grizzlies in winter. On the Summer Traverse last year, there were a lot. I saw 6 in one day, was the most.
Yeah.
So there's a good population.
So really, you're going in winter because it's easier, because there's no grizzlies. This is the easiest way to do it.
And no mosquitoes, so
But
yeah.
you could find the grizzlies in winter and maybe cuddle up to one, couldn't you, though?
That'd be a good idea. But Evan and I, we do back spooning. So just in our own sleeping bags, back to back.
That's cute.
It's amazing how
What are you
much
afraid
more.
of there?
I'm afraid that by the end of the expedition, after 2 months, being a sausage fest for just the two of us, he's going to start looking a lot better than he did at the start.
Now, you're an ambassador for Beyond Blue. How did you get involved in that?
I started having really bad panic attacks before the second attempt at the expedition, and they've continued on. And the panic condition I developed was one of the main reasons for my second and third failure. And I went through a lot of self-loathing because I only had myself to blame. And I reached out for help and did a lot of my own research and realised that my anxiety was perfectly natural for what I was trying to do with the risks and dedicating 6 years of my life. So I just embraced it, and now I almost schedule my panic attacks. They're going to start 2 weeks before my trip, so I know I can relax up until then. The 2 weeks will be awful, but...
How do your family, because I can imagine your family would not want you to go knowing what it's like for you and that you do get these panic attacks. How do they feel, but they know you love doing it?
Yeah, my darling mother is in a world of denial with the occasional meltdown. But my douchebag dad gave me a 5% chance of success last year and a 10% chance of dying. No, I've got a great relationship with him. I love him. He's very cerebral and analytical, and you know that's where I get my pragmatism from.
And he's douchebag dad.
No, he's awesome, but you know.
Well, you can follow John's amazing trip on Facebook and Twitter. All the information is on our website, including Beyond Blue and references there. John, we're going to be following closely. We cannot wait to see how it goes. I mean, like, genuinely, this is a dangerous and crazy thing to do, but good on you for doing it. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.